Ever felt tongue-tied in a conversation or found yourself struggling to connect with others? You're not alone. It's a challenge most of us face at some point, whether it's at a social event, a business meeting, or even a casual chat with a friend. The pressure to communicate effectively can sometimes leave us doubting ourselves. But what if I told you there's an ancient philosophy that can help you approach every conversation with calm, confidence, and clarity? It's a Friday evening and you find yourself at a lively party, drink in hand, scanning the room. There are groups of people chatting, laughing, and connecting, but you're rooted in place, overthinking your next move. What if I say something stupid? What if they think I'm boring? You adjust your posture, take a breath, and consider approaching someone, but the hesitation is overwhelming. Moments like these aren't rare. In fact, they're part of the human experience. Social interactions, something that seems so simple, often come with a wave of self-doubt, a fear of judgment, and an annoying question: am I good enough? We live in a world that thrives on connection. At work, in friendships, and even in chance encounters, how we communicate shapes our relationships and opportunities. But talking to others, truly connecting, can feel like a tightrope walk. There's a delicate balance between saying too little and oversharing, between listening and speaking, between fear and confidence. This is where the timeless wisdom of Stoicism comes in. The Stoics, ancient philosophers like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, taught us how to master ourselves in the face of life's challenges. And while they may not have been giving TED Talks or attending networking events, their principles are surprisingly relevant to modern conversation. The Stoics believed that clarity, purpose, and composure weren't just traits, they were skills we could cultivate. In this video, we're going to uncover 5 Stoic techniques that can transform the way you talk to anyone, from strangers to lifelong friends. These techniques are not fake or magic tricks. They're tools for genuine connection. Are you ready to take that first step? Before we begin, please subscribe and tap the notification bell so you never miss out on more amazing videos like this. Let's get started. Say more with fewer words. We often think confidence is about saying more, filling silences, explaining every detail, and keeping the conversation alive. But true confidence lies in intention. Speaking with clarity and brevity not only makes you more impactful, but also more memorable. Marcus Aurelius captured this perfectly when he wrote, "Let your words be few but well chosen." There's pressure to over-explain, to avoid being judged or even ignored. But when we ramble, we risk burying the essence of what we truly want to say. Confidence means trusting that your message, in its simplest form, will resonate with everyone. Let's say you're pitching an idea in a team meeting. You begin with, "So, I've been working on this concept for a while now, and I think it could be really effective because it saves time, improves our workflow, and adds value to the customer experience. But there's also the factor of how we'll implement it, which I'll explain later." By the time you finish, half the room is distracted and your key point has been lost. Now, imagine starting with this project can save 25% of our time while enhancing customer satisfaction. Here's how we can implement it. That's it. Direct and impactful. You've given your audience a reason to pay attention and opened the door for meaningful dialogue. This approach reflects the Stoic value of intentionality. Marcus Aurelius reminds us to avoid unnecessary actions. Words, just like actions, should serve a purpose. When you strip away the noise and focus on the core message, you show that you respect both your listeners' time and your own confidence. The next time you speak, pause and ask yourself, what is the one thing I want them to remember? Practice condensing your thoughts into a single, impactful sentence. Over time, this habit will sharpen not just your communication, but your sense of self-assurance. Saying more with just a few words is a reflection of your inner confidence, rooted in Stoic wisdom. Let go of the idea that you have to win. For many of us, conversations feel like a subtle tug of war. The urge to prove a point, correct someone, or emerge as the winner can take over without us even realizing it. The first thing you have to come to terms with is that conversations are not battles. They're bridges, opportunities to connect, learn, and exchange ideas. Epictetus, the Stoic philosopher, reminds us of a powerful truth. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. The same applies to conversations. You can't control the opinions or reactions of others, but you can control your attitude. The moment you let go of the need to win, the tension melts away and confidence takes its place. Take a moment to think about it. How often do arguments or debates spiral out of control because both people are focused on being right? Whether it's a heated disagreement with a friend or a discussion at work, the instinct to defend your stance can block the possibility of genuine connection. Winning may feel gratifying in the moment, but it often comes at the cost of trust and understanding. Let's take, for example, a disagreement with a close friend about weekend plans. They want to go hiking, you prefer a more relaxed day indoors. As the discussion drags on, you find yourself interrupting, insisting, but you're not even thinking about how tired I've been lately. Before long, the conversation escalates, leaving both of you frustrated. Now, consider a Stoic approach. Instead of interrupting, you pause. You listen fully to their point of view. You acknowledge their perspective by saying, "I can see how much you've been looking forward to hiking. It's important to you, and I get that." When it's your turn, you calmly share, "I've been feeling pretty drained lately, and I think I'd enjoy something quieter this time." This shift in tone transforms the interaction. By focusing on understanding over asserting control, you create space for a solution that respects both of your needs, perhaps splitting the day between a short hike and some downtime. Letting go of the need to win embodies one of Stoicism's core teachings, the dichotomy of control. You can't dictate how others respond, but you can control your own words and actions. Epictetus's wisdom reminds us that true strength comes not from dominating a conversation, but from approaching it with patience and clarity. The next time you feel the urge to win a discussion, take a deep breath and ask yourself, what's my goal here? Am I trying to connect, or am I trying to control? Confidence isn't about always being right. It's about remaining calm, composed, and open-minded. When you prioritize understanding over victory, you unlock the ability to navigate conversations with grace and wisdom, leaving everyone involved feeling heard and valued. Stop thinking about yourself. It's easy to get trapped in your own head during conversations. You replay every word you've just said, second-guess your tone, or wonder if the other person is judging you. But the crazy thing is that the more you fixate on yourself, the harder it becomes to connect with others. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not external events." This Stoic wisdom is a powerful reminder that confidence isn't about controlling how others perceive you. It's about managing your thoughts and shifting your focus outward. When you stop obsessing over yourself and start genuinely engaging with the person in front of you, you create space for meaningful connection. Try to remember a situation where you felt awkward in a conversation. Maybe you were meeting someone new, and instead of paying attention to what they were saying, you were caught in a loop of self-criticism. Did that sound stupid? Am I coming off as boring? This inward focus not only heightens anxiety, but also causes you to miss opportunities to connect. This struggle is universal because we all want to be liked, respected, and understood. But Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control: our effort to listen, our curiosity, and our presence in the moment. Imagine you're in a job interview, nervous and hyper-aware of how you're coming across. As the interviewer asks questions, you start overthinking every response. Did I say that right? Do they think I'm capable? Should I have phrased that differently? The more you worry, the less focused you become, stumbling through answers and failing to engage. Now, let's take that same situation but apply a Stoic approach. You remind yourself, I can't control their perception, but I can control my presence. Instead of overanalyzing, you direct your attention to the interviewer. You listen to their questions with genuine interest, respond thoughtfully, and ask insightful questions about the role and company. Suddenly, the conversation flows naturally. You're no longer trying to perform, you're connecting. This shift in focus doesn't just calm your nerves, it also makes you more memorable. Confidence isn't about perfection. It's about being fully present and showing sincere curiosity about the other person. By stopping the spiral of self-consciousness, you embrace one of Stoicism's most profound lessons, the power of attention. As Marcus Aurelius reminds us, you have power over your mind. When you choose to focus on the conversation rather than your insecurities, you step into your power, showing confidence without forcing it. Whenever you catch yourself overthinking in a conversation, try this. Pause, take a deep breath, and ask yourself, what is this person really saying? How can I engage with their message? Confidence grows when you realize that conversations aren't a performance. They are an opportunity to connect, to listen, and to understand. When you approach them with that mindset, you'll find that the best way to be memorable is to be present. Know what to say and take your time. There's no denying that staying silent in today's fast-paced world often feels uncomfortable. We are always in a rush to fill any gaps in conversation, even if it means speaking without fully thinking things through. But here's the thing. True confidence lies in your ability to pause, gather your thoughts, and respond with intention. The Stoics, known for their clarity and composure, understood the importance of taking your time. Seneca, in particular, taught us the power of embracing calm and avoiding hasty decisions. He once wrote, "It is quality, not speed, that matters." This wisdom applies not only to our actions, but also to the way we communicate. Speaking isn't a race. It's an opportunity to reflect and connect meaningfully with those around us. We've all experienced that moment when we feel the pressure to speak up immediately. Whether you're in a meeting, having a debate, or even chatting with friends, if there's an unspoken urgency to respond quickly, it often feels like silence is a sign of weakness or indecision. So what happens? We speak without thinking, blurting out a response that's either incomplete or misunderstood. Let's imagine that you're in a meeting with your boss and colleagues, and they ask for your opinion on an important topic. You feel the weight of their gaze on you, and instead of taking a moment to gather your thoughts, you rush to fill the silence with a quick answer. Your words may come out disjointed, leaving others confused, and you feeling a bit embarrassed. But what if instead of panicking, you took a deep breath? What if you embraced that silence for just a moment, giving yourself the space to think clearly? The first thing you'll notice is that you speak clearly and confidently, offering a well-formed answer that adds value to the discussion. It's simple, but that pause, however brief, helps ensure that what you say is thoughtful, relevant, and impactful. This Stoic approach, taking time to reflect before responding, can transform your conversations. Without this technique, you'll find that it's increasingly difficult to think clearly. You rush to give an answer, stumble over your words, and accidentally make the situation more confusing. While staying silent might feel uncomfortable today, it is a powerful tool. By slowing down and pausing to think, you can provide more meaningful, intentional responses. As Seneca reminds us, true wisdom comes not from speed, but from careful, deliberate action. The next time you feel the pressure to speak immediately, embrace the silence. Use it to compose your thoughts, and when you speak, let your words carry weight. It's in those pauses that your confidence will grow, and your presence will be felt even more deeply in the conversation. Match your tone and body language to the situation. When it comes to communication, words are only part of the equation. In fact, the tone you use and the way you carry yourself, your body language, can be just as impactful, if not more so, than the message itself. As the Stoics would say, we should live in harmony with nature, meaning we must adapt ourselves to the situation and the environment we find ourselves in, ensuring that every element of our communication aligns with the context. Most of us are guilty of speaking in a way that doesn't quite match the environment. Maybe it's cracking a joke during a serious conversation, or speaking too casually when discussing something important. The result? A disconnect. Even if your words are spot on, if your body language or tone is misaligned with the situation, the message gets lost. For example, imagine you're in a job interview, an important opportunity to make a lasting impression. You sit down with the interviewer, and in your excitement, or nerves, you begin speaking in a tone that's too relaxed, or even worse, overly familiar. Your body language is open, maybe too open, and lacks the seriousness the situation demands. No matter how capable you are for the role, your tone and gestures could make you appear unprepared or less professional. There's a hidden key to enhancing your communication that many overlook: matching your tone and body language to the environment. When you align both, you drastically improve the impact of your message. For example, imagine speaking in a casual tone during a formal meeting. With relaxed body language, this might make you seem disengaged or uninterested, even if your words are on point. On the other hand, if you adjust your tone to be more measured while maintaining an open and engaged posture, you immediately convey professionalism and focus. This small shift in how you present yourself amplifies the confidence behind your words and makes your message far more impactful. This shift isn't about becoming someone you're not. It's about adapting to the situation while staying true to your values. You don't need to change your personality. You simply need to tune into the moment and adjust your energy accordingly. Confidence isn't just about what you say, it's about how you say it and how you carry yourself. When your words, tone, and body language align, your message becomes powerful and your presence is undeniable. Like a Stoic, you embrace the present moment and adapt to it, ensuring that every part of your communication is in harmony with the situation. If you ever find yourself in a conversation, whether formal or informal, take a moment to observe the environment. Adjust your tone, posture, and gestures to match the context. This holistic approach will help you communicate with clarity, confidence, and authority, no matter the situation. As we reflect on the 5 Stoic techniques for confident communication, it's clear that they all share one essential principle: intention. Each technique, rooted in Stoic philosophy, encourages us to act with purpose and mindfulness. From speaking with brevity, choosing our words carefully, as Marcus Aurelius advised, to letting go of the need to win and embracing harmony instead of dominance, Stoic wisdom offers timeless guidance for living and communicating with confidence. Through shifting our focus away from ourselves, as we learn to listen with empathy and respond with presence, to taking our time, pausing before we speak to ensure our words carry weight. Each of these habits takes patience. They don't form overnight, and there's no need to expect perfection. What's important is progress. Every conversation, no matter how small, is an opportunity to practice, grow, and embody Stoic principles in action. Confidence is a journey, not a destination. The Stoic path isn't about being perfect in every moment. It's about making incremental progress, focusing on what we can control: our words, our mindset, and our actions. Every time you put these techniques into practice, whether in casual chats or high-stakes conversations, you are getting closer to mastering the art of confident communication. So embrace the journey, knowing that each conversation is a chance to grow in clarity, connection, and composure. Remember, as you go about your day, approach every interaction as an opportunity to apply these Stoic lessons. Keep practicing, and you'll soon notice how much more confident and composed you become in every conversation. We often neglect the one person who is with us every step of the way: ourselves. It's easy to fall into the rhythm of solving problems for others and being a pillar of strength. Yet, when the curtains close and we're left in the quiet of our own company, the silence can be overwhelming. Stoicism reminds us that we are the masters of our own inner fortress, and the care we afford ourselves should be as rigorous and disciplined as a soldier preparing for battle. This isn't about indulgence, it's about survival. It's about ensuring that our energy, peace, and well-being are protected with the vigilance of a seasoned general who knows that the strength of an empire depends upon the resilience of its leader. As we delve into today's discussion on making ourselves a priority, remember, if this resonates with you, a simple free favor you could do is hit the subscribe button. Don't skip any part of the video. Every piece of wisdom here builds on the last, creating a blueprint for not just surviving, but thriving on your own terms. Join me on this journey, and let's explore these historical teachings together. Let's embrace Stoicism, not just as a philosophy, but as a daily practice to secure our personal well-being. Think about how many promises you've made to yourself and broken. How often have you planned to exercise, go to bed earlier, or eat healthier, only to let something else take priority? Now consider, if a friend behaved this way toward you, would you still trust them? Often we are the first to break promises to ourselves because we believe there are no consequences. Yet the real consequence is a profound lack of self-respect. If you want to inspire respect and take control of your life, you must start with respecting yourself. Whether you aim for better health, more wealth, inner peace, or greater discipline, maintaining your commitments is essential. Temporary changes won't suffice. Marcus Aurelius, despite ruling an empire and facing constant wars and betrayals, diligently recorded his reflections and flaws daily. He never outsourced his personal growth or discipline. This dedication to self-improvement begs the question: do you treat yourself as a priority, or are you neglecting your personal evolution, treating it as something that can be indefinitely postponed? The first commitment must be to yourself, not your boss, not your friends, and not your family. If you promise to rise early, then rise. If you commit to a project, see it through. Every time you break a promise to yourself, you reinforce a self-image of unworthiness and unreliability. But when you honor your commitments, you will notice a significant boost in self-esteem. You'll feel more in control, realizing you don't need external motivation. Your commitment is enough. This is the essence of discipline. Acting not out of immediate desire, but from a deep-seated decision to respect yourself. The world will indeed test this commitment. There will always be distractions, easier paths, excuses. But in these moments you must decide, will you default to excuses, or will you fulfill your commitments? Remember, Stoicism teaches that we control only our actions, our responses. You might not control the circumstances around you, but you can always control how you react. The moment to act, the opportunity to uphold your commitments is now. Not tomorrow, not when conditions are perfect, because such a moment doesn't exist. So, what have you been postponing? What promise to yourself have you left unfulfilled? Whether it's something as simple as reading a transformative book, or as significant as starting a new project or breaking a bad habit, start now. Each day you delay is a day not lived to its fullest. Remember, the strength of a person is not determined by their talent, intelligence, or luck, but by their commitment to themselves. Today, make a pact to never again disrespect your own word, to never treat your commitments lightly, and to never see yourself as unimportant. Life does not send rescues. No one will come to take you by the hand and lead you to your desired destination. Stoicism clearly teaches that you are solely responsible for the direction of your own existence. Waiting for someone to guide you for the perfect moment or for an external solution is simply a waste of time. Marcus Aurelius emphasized that the only things within your power, your actions and decisions, are what truly matter. He cautioned against fretting over the injustice of others, luck, or the past, all of which are beyond your control. Many people live as if they are mere passengers in their own lives, passively waiting for fate to be kind or for someone else to solve their problems. This passive approach is a trap. Each day spent waiting is a day not truly lived. Life rewards action, not hesitation. While some may freeze in the face of uncertainty, others move forward despite not having all the answers. The latter group reaches further, proving that true strength lies in decisiveness, not in complete certainty. To lead your own life effectively, you must stop outsourcing your decisions to others and relying on their opinion. Abandon the naive notion that someone else will resolve your challenges. The world does not cater to our grievances or change just because we feel wronged. Reality marches on regardless of our involvement. Consider a ship adrift at sea, aimlessly pushed by the waves, an apt metaphor for someone who does not take charge of their life. Now contrast this with a seasoned navigator who, despite not controlling the storm, skillfully steers their ship, adjusting sails and tackling the waves head-on. This is the essence of leading your own life. Assuming this responsibility might seem burdensome, but in truth, it is liberating. Understanding that no one else can make your decisions or fight your battles frees you from the need to please others and from the fear of making mistakes. Stoicism teaches us to be emotionally self-sufficient, making choices based on personal integrity rather than the need for external approval. What distinguishes a fulfilling life from an empty one is the ability to make conscious choices, deciding what to tolerate, what thoughts to nurture, and what boundaries to set. If you do not actively make these choices, others will make them for you, often leading to a life that feels out of control and unfulfilling. Leading your life requires a daily commitment to this mindset, continually reminding yourself that you hold the ultimate responsibility for your path. While you may seek advice and learn from others, ultimately, the decisions are yours to make. If you don't take ownership of your life, be assured someone else will. Time waits for no one. Every morning, a new day dawns, ripe with choices and paths to be taken. Yet, many fail to realize that if they don't define their priorities, the world will. Living reactively, people often find themselves swayed by external demands and distractions, pulled in directions they never consciously chose, becoming mere pawns on another's chessboard. The reality is stark. Many believe they control their destiny, yet their days are cluttered with unchosen obligations and urgent but unimportant tasks. This scenario unfolds not by chance, but by failing to set personal priorities. Whether it's a demanding job, societal expectations, or mere procrastination, these forces conspire to waste our time on trivialities. Marcus Aurelius, a Stoic luminary, understood that life's brevity meant each moment had to be used wisely. He knew that focus determines reality. Without direction, we drift aimlessly, like a leaf in the wind. His discipline in choosing priorities was not just about productivity, but a matter of honor, preserving the precious commodity of time. Historically, the great achievers weren't those who busied themselves with everything, but those who focused on what truly mattered. They eliminated the irrelevant, zeroing in on their true objectives. Today, however, many live on autopilot, inundated by a deluge of notifications and distractions, making it a near Herculean task to maintain focus. The danger is in the realization coming too late. Years pass, filled with regret for not taking control sooner, for spending more time solving others' problems than pursuing personal dreams. Stoicism teaches us to live each day as if it were our last, valuing the present and ensuring our actions are meaningful. Setting priorities is challenging. It requires effort to swim against the current of conformity, to make decisions that carve a distinct path rather than follow the crowd. True clarity about what matters simplifies choices. It leads to rejecting unnecessary engagements and focusing on actions that build toward real goals. Discovering what deserves priority starts with honest reflection, considering what changes would genuinely enhance your life. It means being ruthless in cutting out the superfluous and focusing on what's truly essential. By consciously setting your priorities, you're choosing to say no to distractions and yes to your life. Each day is a blank slate. If you don't decide how to fill it, others will. The Stoics knew that wisdom lies in controlling what we can, our time and our actions. They implored us to choose intentionally before circumstances choose for us. Every day, many people find themselves merely reacting to their surroundings, buffeted by the whims of external forces. Whether it's a rude remark that stirs anger, a traffic jam that breeds impatience, or bad news that saps spirits, reactions often seem automatic and out of control. But living this way means never truly holding the reins of your own life. The Stoics, including Marcus Aurelius, understood this deeply. They believed that to live a fulfilling life, one must not avoid challenges, since difficulties are inevitable, but should learn not to be governed by knee-jerk reactions. Marcus Aurelius, ruling over a vast empire, could not afford the luxury of reactive leadership. His strength came from a deliberate approach to action, a profound understanding that he must choose responses based on wisdom, not whim. The contrast between those who lead their lives and those who merely react is stark. Reactors are constantly at the mercy of external conditions, scrambling to address issues after they arise, often feeling victimized by their circumstances. However, true leaders shape their own paths. They anticipate challenges and set a proactive course for their lives. If you've ever felt upset by unexpected events or minor irritations, it's likely because reactive living grants these externalities power over your inner peace. Remember, the world is inherently imperfect, filled with challenges and provocations. The key is to change not the world around you, but how you respond to it. Consider a storm. Many panic, driven by fear into futile actions, while the steady, those who lead, assess the situation and make calculated decisions. They face the storm not with fear, but with strategy and resolve. Leading your life means crafting a plan, setting your direction based on enduring values rather than fleeting emotions. Those on autopilot, who react without thought, are often manipulated by the agendas of others, through media, societal pressure, or even social net. Choosing to lead rather than react means declaring that your life will not be dictated by external forces. It involves strategic decision-making, a refusal to let frustrations dictate your reactions. History's great leaders and thinkers weren't impulsive. They maintained their composure and clarity even amidst chaos. Now, ask yourself, are you living by your principles, or are you reacting to the world around you? Are you making conscious choices, or are you merely trying to keep up with life's demands? True change starts when you realize that not every provocation requires a response, and not every challenge must deplete your energy. If you find yourself constantly putting out fires, consider whether you're letting external factors steer your life's direction. Stoicism teaches us that we control only our actions and responses, nothing more. This means you have the power to choose calm over agitation, solutions over despair, and progress over stagnation. Time is relentless. It doesn't pause or look back. While it passes, those who lead with intention carve out meaningful existences, moving steadily toward their goals. In contrast, those who react drift along, often looking back with regret at time misspent. Not all battles in life are fought against external forces. Often, they are within the circles we choose, among people we share our days with. Unfortunately, not everyone in our lives serves to strengthen, support, or inspire us. Some may subtly drain our energy, diminish our motivation, and undermine our confidence, pulling us back rather than propelling us forward. Stoicism teaches us to protect our minds from factors beyond our control, including the negative influences of those around us. Seneca, a Stoic philosopher, cautioned about the company we keep, noting that the wrong associates can corrupt even the strongest spirits. Reflect on this. If someone consistently devalues your achievements, ridicules your dreams, or undermines your self-esteem, why allow them space in your life? The time spent with such individuals is time stolen from your personal development, a high price to pay for relationships that offer nothing positive. Often, the fear of loneliness drives people to cling to toxic relationships or unfulfilling friendships. However, consider what is worse: being alone temporarily while you strengthen your resolve, or continuously being surrounded by those who sap your energy and stunt your growth. Loneliness, when embraced, can be a powerful phase of empowerment, while the wrong company can act as a silent prison, trapping you in mediocrity. Remember, protecting your energy is not an act of selfishness, it's a necessary form of self-preservation. You cannot support everyone, and you should not have to convince anyone of your worth. Your personal growth does not require anyone's approval. True supporters will encourage your development without conditions. Marcus Aurelius, faced with envy and manipulation, never allowed external criticisms to sway him from his path. He remained focused on what was truly important: his values, his duties, and his personal growth. Like him, you must assess the influence of those around you. Do they help you grow, or do they hold you back? Are they sources of inspiration or sources of doubt? If the influence is negative, consider distancing yourself. This doesn't mean you must end relationships abruptly or create conflict. Instead, realign your priorities quietly. Spend your time with those who enrich your life and engage in activities that contribute to your growth. Be vigilant about protecting your energy as diligently as you guard your time and your thoughts. If someone consistently undermines your confidence or questions your efforts, it's time to evaluate their role in your life. True progress requires letting go of burdens that aren't yours to carry. Choose the company you keep with care. They have a significant impact on your life's trajectory. The most decisive battles are not waged on a physical battlefield, but within the confines of your own mind. Your thoughts directly influence how you feel, act, and perceive your potential. A mind plagued by insecurity, doubt, and self-sabotage predestines you for defeat before you even engage with the world. The Stoics, particularly Epictetus, taught that we are not disturbed by events themselves, but by the views we adopt about them. It's not the obstacles that define us, it's how we interpret them. Consider the process of a blacksmith forging a blade. The metal isn't born sharp, it is heated, hammered, and honed with precision. Similarly, your mind requires regular conditioning to remain sharp. Neglected, it can become as ineffective as a rusty blade, unfit for the battles of life. Those who train their bodies yet neglect their minds might appear strong, but they often falter under pressure due to internal fragility, manifesting as fear of failure, paralysis under stress, or chronic self-doubt. Your reality is sculpted by the thoughts you nurture. A mindset steeped in defeatism leads to a life lived in the shadows of failure. Conversely, a mind trained for resilience, strategy, and optimism can withstand the greatest of life's challenges. The good news is that the power to reshape your mind is entirely in your hands. Thoughts, like muscles, strengthen with consistent exercise. Focus on fostering mental patterns that empower and support your aspirations. A well-trained mind can manage doubt and fear without being overwhelmed by them. It possesses the clarity to use every experience as a stepping stone toward growth. The Stoics believed that while the world could strip you of material possessions and external stability, your thoughts remain inviolably yours. Therefore, the real question is whether you are actively fortifying your mental fortitude or allowing it to degrade in an autopilot existence. Many accept limiting beliefs without scrutiny. I'm not good enough, I always fail, or this won't work for me. These negative scripts often stem not from factual assessments, but from past hurts and the projected opinions of others. A robust mind challenges these narratives, evaluating and rejecting them if they don't align with reality. Consider what your mind has been absorbing. Are your thoughts reinforcing your strengths, or are they eroding your confidence? Remember, the true battlefield lies within, and victory is determined not by external circumstances, but by internal resilience. Take charge of your cognitive processes. Don't let your mind become your adversary. Instead, cultivate it as your ally, one that propels you toward your goals with precision and positivity. The outcomes you experience in life are reflections of the thoughts you choose to entertain and believe. Solitude is often misunderstood. Far from being a sign of weakness, it is a profound source of strength. In our noise-filled world, we are taught to view being alone as a problem, a symbol of failure or abandonment. Yet history's greatest minds, from Stoic philosophers to visionary leaders, have recognized solitude as a vital opportunity for growth and self-discovery. The Stoics, in particular, valued solitude not as a curse, but as a precious gift. Marcus Aurelius, surrounded by the demands of his empire, cherished his moments alone for reflection. Epictetus, from his humble beginnings as a slave to becoming a revered philosopher, emphasized the importance of finding peace within oneself rather than seeking it through others. Seneca, through his letters, spoke of how true loneliness isn't about the absence of others, but the inability to be comfortable in one's own company. When you learn to be alone without feeling lonely, you unlock a transformative power. Solitude becomes not just a momentary retreat, but a space to engage deeply with your own thoughts, to reflect on your actions, and to plan your future. It is here in the quiet that you can truly listen to your own voice and forge a formidable inner strength that external circumstances cannot shake. Many avoid solitude, fearing the discomfort it may bring, filling their lives with endless distractions, social media, entertainment, and superficial interactions to escape facing themselves. but avoidance keeps you weak. It leaves you unprepared for life's inevitable challenges. Being alone should not be equated with being lost. On the contrary, it offers a unique chance to find yourself, to understand your desires, and to cultivate resilience. Consider this: the most intense growth often occurs not in the presence of others, but in the solitude of one's mind. Like warriors who train away from the battlefield, individuals who embrace solitude use it to sharpen their minds and fortify their spirits. They emerge not only ready to face the world, but also to shape it according to their vision. The challenge, then, is not to avoid solitude, but to embrace it, to see it as a vital phase of self-development, where you can establish a foundation of self-sufficiency. This doesn't mean cutting off relationships or eschewing social interactions, but rather ensuring that your relationship with yourself is the core from which strength radiates. In the silence of being alone, ask yourself, are you comfortable with who you are? Are you ready to use this time not as a punishment, but as a profound period of personal growth? Those who master solitude master themselves and become truly unshakable, no matter what life throws their way. Respect is not something you can buy, demand, or plead for. It must be earned. But crucially, it can only be genuinely received from those who respect themselves. Expecting respect from someone who lives in neglect of their own worth is an exercise in futility. The Stoics taught us to focus on what we can control and to disregard the rest. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, emphasized acting with justice, integrity, and wisdom, irrespective of how others treat us, highlighting that those who do not respect themselves are often unable to genuinely respect others. Reflect on the times you felt disappointment from not receiving the acknowledgement you deserve. Consider the energy and time spent seeking approval from those who do not even value themselves. Such efforts are doomed from the start. Respect mirrors the appreciation visible within one's self. It cannot be forced from those who have none for themselves. Many try to win over individuals who undervalue everything. They fail to understand, however, that you may appear as a threat rather than a figure deserving respect to someone entrenched in mediocrity and self-pity. Those lacking principles might feel threatened by your discipline and integrity, responding not with respect, but with minimization or ridicule. The Stoic way teaches us to pick our battles wisely. It is ineffective and exhausting to seek respect from those incapable of giving it. Your role is not to educate everyone on the virtues of principled living, but to embody those virtues yourself without seeking external validation. When you cease to seek respect from those who cannot offer it, you empower yourself. You realize that the only respect that truly matters is the respect you hold for yourself. This internal respect fosters true strength and independence. The Stoics lived this truth. They did not court external approval but found satisfaction in living righteously according to their own moral standards. This realization liberates you. No longer will you expend energy trying to change perceptions that are immovable. Instead, you will live freely, guided by your values and principles, not swayed by the need for external affirmation. True respect starts from within and radiates outward. When you respect yourself and live unapologetically according to your principles, you become truly unshakable. Ask yourself, are you living for the recognition of others, or are you living a life true to your values? Remember, the respect that counts the most is the respect you earn from yourself. Do not waste time on those who have not learned to see their own value. Continue to be steadfast, integral, and forward-moving. True confidence doesn't happen by accident, nor does it suddenly manifest when you need it most. It is meticulously crafted during unseen moments through silent preparation, unnoticed decisions, and seemingly insignificant daily habits that ultimately shape who you are. Many mistakenly believe that confidence springs forth from external recognition, opportunities, or overcoming challenges. However, real confidence stems from actions taken when no one is watching. A warrior's strength isn't proven on the battlefield alone, nor does a speaker's eloquence emerge solely before an audience. Just as a wise person's wisdom isn't confined to moments of decision, all these traits are the results of what has been diligently built in private. The Stoics, including Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus, emphasize that strength is cultivated through routine and discipline, not spontaneous acts of heroism. They knew that the foundation of a resilient life is laid away from the public eye. If you aspire to be formidable when the world challenges you, your discipline must be consistent during moments of solitude. The way you perform when everyone is watching is a direct reflection of what you've practiced in privacy. If your daily life is riddled with procrastination and half-hearted commitments, you'll find yourself unprepared for critical moments. Conversely, if you establish robust habits, train your mind for resilience, and maintain unwavering discipline, you'll be equipped to handle any adversity. Self-confidence doesn't arise from superficial praise or accolades. It is born from the deep-seated knowledge that you are well prepared. It is knowing that you've addressed and conquered your weaknesses long before they ever have a chance to be exposed publicly. Your self-assurance is built on the countless times you've chosen to act with integrity rather than take the easy way out, reinforcing to yourself that you are capable and ready. The challenge many face is desiring the fruits of confidence without investing in the roots of preparation. They wish to feel powerful without engaging in the hard work that true strength requires. Life, however, doesn't reward the unprepared. The Stoics were clear. Consistent preparation is the key to enduring any of life's trials. By practicing self-discipline daily and pushing your limits in private, you ensure you are ready for whatever comes your way. Ask yourself, what are you doing when no one's looking? How are you shaping your mind, your character, your resilience? Are you actively preparing or merely hoping that confidence will find you unbidden? Remember, the most critical work happens offstage. In the quiet moments of preparation, you forge the steel of your spirit, ready to shine when the spotlight finds you. True confidence is not about boasting or believing blindly that things will work out. It's about knowing with quiet certainty that you are prepared for anything life throws at you. It's the peace that comes from having done the work, even when no one else was watching. Motivation is transient, often seen as essential for success but truly unreliable when it matters most. It provides an initial spark, yet fades quickly, leaving you stranded on challenging days. This is why relying solely on motivation can be detrimental to achieving long-term goals. The Stoics, understanding the deceptive nature of motivation, relied instead on discipline, commitment, and the cultivation of steadfast habits. Epictetus emphasized the daily practice of virtues, not just when convenient. Marcus Aurelius, even in his role as emperor, acted not out of motivation but from a sense of duty, knowing well that waiting for motivation is a trap. Success isn't a result of fleeting emotions, but the product of habits practiced consistently, regardless of one's emotional state. Consider a warrior preparing for battle, who doesn't train only when motivated. They train relentlessly to ensure readiness, regardless of their mood. Life demands the same discipline, regular action, irrespective of desire. Building something substantial, be it a personal goal or a professional project, requires consistency that outlasts momentary motivation. Habit formation is crucial, as it underpins any significant achievement. Actions should stem from a commitment to these habits, not the whims of feeling inspired. Many fail because they are conditioned to act only when they feel right, a notion that undermines the very essence of discipline. The Stoic philosophy teaches that self-control and habitual action are paramount and far superior to being driven by fleeting emotions. Motivation may waver like a flickering flame, but a well-established habit burns steadily, providing continuous momentum. Reflect on whether your actions are motivated by fleeting emotions or grounded in robust habits. The path to success is paved with consistent, disciplined actions that become second nature, reinforcing your progress regardless of external conditions.